fully haul the rest of him through an opening that physics itself refused to accommodate. The men below heard the awful grinding, crushing noise that cut sharply through the constant hum of the rig, and then came the screaming, not from Moffat, but from the men who witnessed it. The tannoy message finally played. The winch operator, hearing the panic in the assistant driller's voice, slammed the emergency stop. The cable went slack. But Gordon Moffat was already gone. His body hung partially through the mouse hole, suspended between two worlds, the BOP deck below and the drill deck above, where the winch operator sat in shocked confusion. A fellow worker who had been relieved by Moffat earlier that night, who should have been in that harness instead, looked up at the scene. He would later struggle to find words after he saw what was left of Moffat.
We still didn't want to believe it. Just rags. Just bunched up rags, you'd think, looking at it. That's all you could tell yourself it was.
The medical examiner later called it crush asphyxiation, multiple abdominal trauma, and virtual transection. This is basically medical talk to describe a person's body that's nearly been cut in half. The more disturbing and frustrating part of this is how it was preventable. The fatal accident inquiry that followed revealed a cascade of failures that night. The risk assessment meeting that was supposed to identify dangers, crew members took turns filling out the forms, treating it like paperwork rather than a life-saving exercise. Most had no formal training in risk assessment and were unaware of Santa Fe's own safety bulletin about man-riding operations issued just 8 months earlier. There was confusion about whether supervisors even participated in the safety discussion that night. Some witnesses suggested the risk assessment form was only filled out after Moffat died. Even Sheriff Kieran McClernand, who was leading the inquiry, warned that focusing on form filling distracts from actually thinking through risks. The forms were filed, ignored, then tossed. But the failures ran deeper than that. The contractors who worked on these rigs always had these risks pushed onto them. The Piper Alpha incident made promises of safer systems. But 15 years later, that hadn't stopped basic preventable deaths like the one you just saw. This is typically called precarious employment, where insecurity and risk get pushed down to those least able to refuse them, like contract workers on 2-week rotations, working 12-hour shifts, separated from their families, dependent on their next contract. These workers might notice problems but hesitate to speak up. They fill out safety forms because they have to, not because anyone actually uses them to prevent accidents. That night's specifics were simple and deadly. A failed radio that a check could have caught. No watcher at the mouse hole. A winch operator working blind. Offshore. Small oversights like this kill. Gordon Moffat was experienced and volunteered for the task. He followed the procedures properly, but the systems put in place failed him,